Coming to you live from the Cowboys headquarters in Frisco. Deep in the heart of Texas, it's the Star at Night.
Wow, dramatic much?
Why are you getting in the way of my intro?
You mean our intro? We're your hosts. I'm Kelsey Charles.
And I'm David Hellman.
Okay, let's just start this show now.
Your voice sounds so ridiculous.
How did I not throw it out? How did I talk after that? I don't sound like that.
I do not know.
I don't sound like that.
But I'm impressed. Welcome, everyone, to the Star at Night. We're your hosts, Kelsey Charles and David Hellman. And we are coming to you after a routing of the Philadelphia Eagles by the Dallas Cowboys.
Win streak!
Let's go, baby.
Win streak.
We're
You know how good that feels? You know how much we didn't get to do that last year?
I know.
The Cowboys kicked somebody's butt.
It was amazing.
And it felt great.
Yes.
We had to do this. We had to try to do this show after like bad, ugly losses all last year. I'm not going to get over this for a while. Like every time they win, I'm going to freak out.
Yeah.
Because I know how it feels trying to make a fun TV show after they lose 25-3 to Washington. So yeah, I'm feeling good.
We're feeling spoiled today because there's lots of things to talk about, and I want to dive in. I mean, first off, let's talk about the backfield for the Dallas Cowboys.
You can talk about whatever you want to.
I mean,
it's all good.
Genuinely, like, it was mostly all good. Double-headed monster with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott almost had a 100-yard gain. I mean, like, let's talk to me about this run game and the reemergence. Is Zeke back to his old self, or where are we thinking he's at?
That was a vintage performance. And I wrote about this after the game on Monday night. It almost felt like 2016. I don't think that's fair to Dak Prescott because he is such a better quarterback than he was 5 years ago. But this was that old blueprint of just beating somebody into submission.
Yep.
You could see the Philadelphia Eagles didn't want it. They did not want a piece of Zeke after about the first quarter of this game. 160 rushing yards. Didn't even feel like that much. But that's the beauty of it, is when you can dictate the pace and the tempo of a game, you can make the other team quit.
All right, so let's talk about Dak Prescott for a minute because he also had himself a pretty darn good game. I mean, the man played so well that he didn't have to end up playing the last part of the fourth quarter. Cooper Rush goes in. He has 238 yards and 3 touchdowns. Dak Prescott, first primetime game back.
There's nothing better in this world than the starter sitting out for the end of an NFL game fully healthy.
Yep.
It's the best. Dak's over there wearing his baseball hat backward on the sideline. And like I said, I mean, it's not fair. This was not a game manager performance. Dak Prescott is in such absurd control of this offense right now. It's just that they don't need him to throw for 400 yards a game when their ground game can do this. But, man, it's fun to watch him cook.
But also, he's not the only one cooking. The defense was actually giving Dak the opportunity.
It's all good, Kels.
Literally.
All of it is good.
Takeaways were happening. Trayvon Diggs, again, showing up against his former teammates, owning them, if you will. Osa Odigizua. I mean, literally, it was just all so impressive. Micah Parsons' defense, are they the real deal?
I think it's early to say they're the real deal. I know, like, I just brought the energy down a little bit, but they look so impressive. Opportunistic is just the word that keeps coming to my mind, because you don't have to be, quote unquote, elite if you're taking the ball away twice a game and giving it to your Pro Bowl quarterback, and that's what this defense continues to do. If they can sustain it, I mean, watch the hell out if they can sustain it.
I am personally so excited about everything I saw last night. I think we could talk a little bit about some time management. We'll discuss that in a minute.
Fine,
that was
if
probably
you
the
wanna
only
be
questionable thing.
A gigantic buzzkill, yeah, we can do that.
I'm sorry, am I being the realist on this episode? This is a very weird turn of events.
Feeling good. All right, we will get into it. I promise. There's way more to dissect. I want to take a look at the big picture. Actually, I want you to talk me out of saying some reckless things. We will get into that when we come back right after this.
Cowboys Star at Night is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys, AT&T, and by Favor, the official on-demand food delivery partner of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Kels, I'm sitting forward in my seat.
I could tell.
I feel like I have an air of gravitas about me because I kind of hate what I'm about to say. It goes contrary to like everything I am. What do you always call me? What's your favorite nickname?
Eeyore.
Eeyore.
Yes.
Because I'm like the cynic and the realist.
Yeah.
Okay. Bear with me here. The Cowboys just kicked the crap out of the Eagles.
Yes.
They looked really, really good on
Confirmed.
both sides of the ball. They play a Carolina team that not very good last year. They're 3-0. I get it.
Yeah.
Not sold.
Sure.
Then they play a New York Giants team.
Definitely bad.
They're awful. Then they go on the road to play a New England Patriots team with a rookie quarterback that again looks kind of butt. I say all this to say, are the Cowboys like the Cowboys are an NFC contender? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm taking my sweet time to say it. Am I overreacting to one game? Because I feel like the Cowboys have a chance to really kickstart some momentum here and be 4-1, 5-1,
Yeah.
maybe 6. Like I'm hyped, and should I not be?
Honestly, I kind of am. I'm shocked to hear this from you.
Yeah.
This feels like my narrative.
Tell me about it.
But I kind of think I'm buying what you're selling, Dave.
They don't play anybody good for a month.
No, and all their other NFC East rivals are playing each other. So this is the perfect time to just get that up.
Can we? Okay, we made fun of the NFC East last year because it sucked. Why were the Cowboys bad? They didn't have Dak. They didn't have anybody.
Right.
The Cowboys, maybe they're not the best team in the NFC. The LA Rams and the Tampa Bay Bucks have something to say about that.
Sure.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
They're not but.
Right.
I feel, I don't care that the Eagles are bad. Like, you don't win games like that in the NFL being even middling. This
Yeah.
is a good football team.
That was with conviction. I do want to ask you quick. I'm ready to hand out some hardware myself. I'm honestly kind of thinking, like, are we thinking comeback player of the year,
Well, that's already in the
defensive
bag.
rookie of the year? Maybe are there even coach of the year candidates on this staff right now? Are we concerned about retaining our coordinators? Because I'm like, what are we doing to make sure they want to stay here in Dallas after this showing?
Okay, so my whole vibe on this segment was for you to talk me out of this.
I'm sorry.
And you're not doing it.
No.
This like, we're pumping way too much sunshine right now, but why wouldn't you?
Right.
Why wouldn't you after what we saw Monday, and again, what's ahead of them? By the way, you know who the Eagles have to play next week? They got to go play Kansas City. This division is there for the taking.
Yeah.
It's week 4. The Cowboys are better than everybody else in the NFC East. As long as they're healthy, that's going to continue to be the case.
Wow.
And that's exciting.
Hand out some hardware. We
Just
are
throw the parade now.
really, truly, like, getting serious
I'm gonna
about this
regret
Dallas
this.
Cowboys
I'm gonna
team.
regret
But
this
we're going to
entire
get
segment
serious
in a week.
about some specific players. The O-line specifically. We've got a very special guest, Duke Manyweather, coming up with us next.
This segment was brought to you by the Dallas Morning News. Nobody does sports like Sports Day. Your home for complete Dallas Cowboys coverage. This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back, everyone. Our guest list continues to impress, and we are not stopping now. We have joining us the man, the myth, the O-line legend himself, Duke Manyweather, O-line mastermind, excuse me. And you have a bit of a new venture, too, so we're going to dive into that. But welcome back to the show, my friend.
Oh, thanks for having me. It seems like just yesterday we were doing this, and I think it was probably over a year ago we hopped on. But thanks for having me back. I enjoy the work that you two do. I enjoy being on the show and being able to talk shop. So it's a win-win for all of us.
Well, let's dive in because Dave and I were noticing we knew you were up to big things. We talked about it last season, but you have a bit of a new venture that you are foraying into. So give us the details, inside information, if you will, please.
Absolutely. As I've kind of teased, the obsession continues, but we went on with a full-on partnership with Sports Academy right there at the Star where we typically do our O-line Mastermind Summit annually. Well, we've started to explore what was possible to give a first-class experience with every phase of what we do with O-line Mastermind. So the next step was naturally to take my NFL Combine and Rookie Transition and Development Program and partner with Sports Academy to really create a ground-up experience and a holistic experience for these guys that are getting ready to prepare from going from the college game to the NFL game. So I trust and believe in what Sports Academy's vision is. They're formerly Mamba Academy, which was the brainchild of the great Kobe Bryant. And the principles still remain the same in terms of the mentality and the obsession. We are fired up about the partnership. It makes sense, where we're going to continue to raise the bar for athletic performance and specifically offensive line play.
Duke, the thing that I loved the most about your trailer announcing this venture is you showed, at the end of it, you showed the list of the guys that you've worked with. And it was hilarious because, 3-4 years ago, it's just a couple of guys, and then it's 5 guys, and then this past year, you had the whole damn O-line class basically in the credits. So what I infer from that is the Star's about to be the epicenter for offensive line draft development. And I guess my question is just how gratifying is it to see this thing grow to where, anybody who's anybody in offensive line play wants to be working with you?
It's pretty humbling, to say the least. I think that we talked about this last time I was on the show, is that Dallas has been spoiled with great offensive lines, and it was always a vision of mine to make Dallas and Frisco the epicenter of offensive line development, period. It is the synergistic approach to it. It's there. It's natural. It's going to happen. And so we've kind of built this thing out to what it is now, and I couldn't be more pleased and more humbled that the word of mouth is spreading. But plain and simple, it's about the guys in the arena. And what we do is we obsess over the things that they need to do to get them to where they are, and we become very clear. We become clear as a developmental team, and we make sure that the players are clear. And what I mean by that is we try to make sure that they understand where they are, where they want to go, what's keeping them from where they need to go, and then we start to build around that. We don't worry and focus too much on what guys can't do. We look at what guys can do and what their strengths are and start to build out who they are as a player and as a man based upon that.
All right, well, I want to ask you a quick question about some guys that Cowboys fans might be familiar with. And we talked about him last time. Terrence Steele is a name that's been tossed around a lot. I know you personally have done some work with him, and he's definitely improved this season. It's significant. But also, Tyler Biadasz, I'd love to get your analysis and thoughts in general on, their overall play this season so far.
Yeah, Terrence has been lights out. In his role. And I think we kind of set the landscape. We gave the context last year about Terrence's performance. He was undrafted. Many people thought that he was going to be on the practice squad. So we saw a guy with tremendous physical traits, but it's being able to develop those traits into critical factors and tools for the game. Nobody expected Terrence to play last year. You got La'el Collins, who's arguably a top right tackle in the league. And so Terrence was kind of thrown into the fire. But with that comes callous. So one of the things that, again, we tried to focus on this offseason is identifying the why. And that's exactly what we did. We said, all right, Terrence, this is what you're great at. So let's continue to build around what you're great at and start to create those developmental key performance indicators and the things that he could tap back into and execute over and over again. One thing that we did also is that we trained and we developed every aspect of the things that you control, and that is the mind, the body, and the craft. Once you give those guys, again, we become clear on what you can control. The confidence that he's playing with is a byproduct of the work that he put in. So that's kind of Terrence's trajectory. I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him. And then Biadasz, Biadasz sustained some injuries last year, and then also, he was coming off a hip while he was in college, and I think that the staff there with the Cowboys did a great job with getting him to where he needed to be in terms of getting the hips right and the hamstring and all that type of stuff right. And Biadasz, did some tremendous things in the run game, and he's going to continue to be a work in progress. One of the big things that I see with Tyler is he needs to continue to get better with his offhand. That's his non-snap hand, and that's being able to get it in there, refit, and reset his hands. Once he's able to do that in an aggressive manner, he's going to be okay. You're not going to see the 2 or 3 times per game where he gets bull rushed and overcome by bigger, more powerful guys.
The thing I love about talking to you, Duke, is like this is just the start of a beautiful friendship, though, because the cool thing about this is like he can give us the goods on the Cowboys' current O-line because he works with all of them. But guess what? Based on your trajectory, I have a feeling you're going to be working with some future Cowboys O-linemen as well. So we can just keep this thing rolling, man.
Here for it.
We will be having you back. Don't even worry about that. Duke, thanks so much for joining us, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me. I always enjoy it, and maybe I'll come into the studio soon.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to get that taken care of. Don't even worry about it. We'll be right back after this. Thanks.
This segment is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, Dave. So we all know you've had plenty of success on the dating apps. And in light of that,
I hate the way that started.
we're going to play our favorite game of bumbling around. We're going to do a little swiping.
Did the Cowboys have an official dating app? Like, are we allowed to say Bumble? Can we point out that Hinge is pretty solid too?
I think they're all pretty terrible, if I'm being totally honest, which is why we are single and alone, and we're not going to get into that. But we are going to get into these specific instances. All right, you know how to play. Swipe left if you do not agree and you are canceling that idea forever. Swipe right if, like you're in favor. I'll match with that.
The sad thing is I swipe left like way more often than somebody who looks like me has any right
We know,
to.
we're working on that.
Okay.
It's fine. The strategy, it does not exist quite yet, but it's being built. All right, so first up, I need to get your thoughts on this one. Are we swiping left or swiping right on Trayvon Diggs? He'll have at least 10 interceptions this season. Just so reference for all of you, we do have 1 interception at least per game for him this season, and he's also had 1 every single time he's played the Eagles, so it looks good so far. Dave, are you swiping right or left?
This fits with what I just said of me. I'm a picky douche, so I'm swiping left. That's a lot of picks. It's not a knock on Trayvon Diggs. You're amazing, bro. You are off to an incredible start, announcing yourself as one of the best young corners in the game. 10 picks is just a lot. Like that's like league best type of stuff. I'm just not ready to go there, but he's great. So again, it's just that's my problem, not yours.
All right, fine. Well, this is why I won't be single forever, because I will swipe right on that. The record for this team is Everson Walls with 11, and it's only every other game. Like, it's fine. He can totally do it. Swiping right for Trayvon Diggs. Also, okay, coming up next, Dak's 4th down run should have been counted as a touchdown. Are you swiping left or right on that? I know the answer to this.
I'm swiping right, and I'm swiping left on anyone alive who says otherwise.
Yeah.
He got in on the first try, and then the replay showed he was in the end zone.
Right.
NFL. Right, swiping right.
The only reason I can explain away what happened is that the league office is close to Philadelphia, so they're showing some sort of like locational preference. Like, I don't know, because
you think they just wanted the game to be entertaining?
it had to be that way.
Didn't
They
work,
knew it
by
was
the
going to
way.
be a routing.
Didn't work.
All right, well, I'm super swiping on that one, giving a rose, whatever the options are these days. Not just
Nice
showing.
call with the rose.
Thank you so much.
That's how we know you're out there.
Oh, it's so bad. Okay, so Cowboys have a huge clock management issue. Are you swiping left or right on this idea?
I'm swiping right, and it's not because they blew past the chance to get points in this game.
Sure.
It's every week with these guys.
Yeah.
Every week they've had a snafu. The 60-yard field goal against Tampa, not my favorite idea. The end of game, whatever you want to call that disaster in LA. And then this past week, it's every week. It's going to catch up to them. Swipe right.
Mike, we've got a LASIK sponsor. Do what Jameis did and get that handled, because I am concerned. All right, last one for you. The way the NFL has scheduled the Dallas versus Carolina game is bogus. So Carolina plays on Thursday. They basically have 10 days in between their game now and then obviously the Cowboys have the regular timing. So is this just a bunch of baloney?
Swipe left. What? It's the NFL. Play Play the team that's in front of you. The Cowboys had a long week to get ready for the Chargers.
Sure.
Chargers played Sunday of week 1. Cowboys played Thursday. This stuff happens. Is it fair? No. Does the NFL want to make lots and lots of money televising these games?
Right.
Yes. So play the
Am I going to
game.
whine about it? Yes. Like,
Okay, if you want to whine, speaking of being alone forever, whiny baby. Wow. I'm going to spend the break apologizing to Kelsey for that, and we'll be right back after this.
Cowboys Star at Night was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the official sporting goods retailer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
Reunited, and it feels so good. Dave, the Dallas Cowboys had their Hall of Fame ring ceremony at halftime, so you saw the likes of Jimmy Johnson and also Drew Pearson in the building. But for my Cowboys millennial fan self, I was personally so excited to see Dez Bryant back.
I just picture all of the older Cowboy fans excited about all of these greats, and Jimmy hits him with the "How about them Cowboys?" And you and I are just geeking out about Dez showing up in a CeeDee Lamb jersey.
He's awesome.
He told Mike McCarthy he caught the ball in Green Bay. Like, Mike's trying to have his press conference, and Dez wants to talk about 2014. Love to see X in the building. It was very nice. It just a cool night. Just a very cool night. Great to see all the Cowboys legends. Great to get a 20-point win. And I'll tell you what, dude.
The juju was strong.
This show is a lot of fun to do when the team is winning games.
Funny how that works out.
Try to keep that going. Until then, thanks for watching The Star at Night. For Kelsey, I'm Dave. We'll catch y'all next time.